Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So yesterday I mused about this miracle, and I kind of prayed for it. What if humans no longer had to eat at all? This miracle thinks it comes to my mind a lot when I do intermittent fasting. I think about it every time I'm in a lighthearted attitude from an intermittent fast. I start to wonder, what if I never had to eat again? And a few benefits immediately come to mind. The number one benefit being the flexibility. There are sometimes you want to focus on something, and it doesn't really go well with eating, right? So my art projects immediately come to mind. Also, I teach at a community college. Sometimes I'd like to be teaching back to back classes. I used to work at a tutoring center where it was not unusual to have 6, 7 hours of back to back sessions where you didn't really have time to eat. You might have had 5, 10 minutes in between the sessions. I don't like eating on such a schedule. I have an eating disorder, and trying to stuff a meal until I face in 5, 10 minutes didn't go really well with it. And it made me wish that I often use the timing of the tutoring to set the beat to my intermittent fasting. But then students would cancel, they want to change their times, and it really wrecked my eating habits. It really did. And it made me wish that I never had to eat again. So flexibility immediately comes to mind. You wouldn't have to work around lunch schedules, or if you were traveling, right? I was just at my grandmother's funeral. You wouldn't think about when and where food would be available, right? Someday you might want to go to another planet. The flight might take 2 hours if you didn't have to pack food in there, right? Or just even more mundane things, right? If you wanted to, you were meeting up with somebody who had religious or food differences, it would no longer be a barrier, right? I can't tell you how many times I have food allergies as it is. I sometimes see people who have religious differences or other food allergies, and finding food that's suitable for both of us can be tricky, right? And that would be less. It would be one less thing that would divide people. Let's put it that way, right? And also the cost, right? How much money do you save on? How much money do you spend on food every month? You know, it would be like having that extra amount, right? Now, here's the problem. If nobody in the world needed food, the problem is that society might just adjust that away in some way, right? So, for example, that the amount of money you were saving, it could be that everybody just makes that much less after the economy adjusts itself, and so you wouldn't benefit. I suspect that's what would happen. I really do. Because after all, look at all the innovation we've had. Maybe it's not that people don't have to eat anymore, but often the economy adjusts away the benefit the financial benefit that you would have gotten from it, right? Um, the other problem is that again, the time you save, the fact that you don't have to work around lunch, well, nobody has to anymore, and now you're just competing against everybody else, right? So it would have to be you're the only one who doesn't have to eat in order for you to benefit from it, right? If everybody doesn't eat, the benefit gets kind of negated away, right? But even still, just the fact that people would be less divisive, you wouldn't have issues with food allergies or food differences. Of even that benefit probably won't be competed away, right? At least, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.